Well, hello, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm sorry, Marty's already here, zigzagging back and forth and trying to distract me. I'm going to be doing the Summer Loving book tag that was created by Heather over at Bookables. Did you hear that? He just slapped my paper that I wrote down the book tag on with his tail. Martin. Okay. In case you haven't been here before, Marty is my cat. He's very playful and fun, and he likes to be in these videos as much as possible. I brought his little cat tree over here, so we'll see if he decides to come sit on it and say hello. If you have not watched Heather's channel, I definitely recommend her channel. She and I are very different booktubers. She's really into, I would say, she used to read a lot of YA books. Now she likes romance books, and she's been getting into the thriller genre, which, as you know, is my favorite genre. We don't always agree on books. She tends to like books I don't, and I like books she doesn't, kind of thing. But I really like her, though. And we don't always have to agree on books to like booktubers, right? And I also don't think that we have to agree about what books we like to read. There's plenty of booktubers that read books that I would never even pick up that I love watching. So I definitely recommend giving her a view if you have a chance, because she does have a really good channel. Number 1, Sand in Your Toes. A book that's perfect to read on the beach. A Ring of Endless Light by Madeleine L'Engle. This book is about the Austen family who is going to stay with their grandfather, who is terminally ill. The main character is a girl named Vicky, and she's a teenager. This is a YA book from years ago. I originally read it when I was a teenager. That's how old it is. And at the heart of it, it's about loss, and it's about trying to find happiness in the face of loss. Because just because there's sad things going on in our lives, that doesn't mean that we can't try to find things to be happy about and things to be excited about. And it doesn't mean that our lives can't go on. And it's just such a beautiful book, and it really does celebrate the beach living, and in my mind, creativity. Also, it celebrates the beach in ways that I don't know if any other book does. I mean, she's swimming with dolphins and just all kinds of glorious, beautiful stuff. And one thing that is just such a beautiful escape and vacation from the world that we're living in is this book takes place and was written before computers, email, social media, all of it. And it just feels like such a nice escape from all of that. Number 2, Summer Thunderstorm, a book that truly spooked you. This is definitely one of my favorite books of the year so far, which is saying a lot, because looking back, I feel like so far, and I don't know if it's just me, 2022, book-wise, has kind of fell flat a little bit. I've read some good books, but it's not like last year. I had a really hard time narrowing down my favorite books into just 10. I don't think I'll have that hard of a time this year, unless there's some really good books the last few months of the year. But this book really did freak me out. It's called Enduring Love by McEwan. The reason this book freaked me out so much, and it was a very quick read too, which I've been finding so far this year, I've been really savoring my books. If I am enjoying them, I'm reading them very slowly, which is a little bit unusual for me. It's just a whole new thing. I don't know. A situation happens where multiple people's lives are in jeopardy, and everybody has to react, right? How do you react in that kind of situation? It might define who you are as a person. And one of the people there decides that they are in love with someone else who's there, and starts, well, stalking the person, another person that's there. And it was just so creepy. And it totally just changes the dynamics of the protagonist's life. And I don't know that there's anything creepier in my mind, personally, than being stalked or them having the attention of someone whose attention I don't want to have. That is just so chilling to me. And this book really got under my skin in a way that surprised me. And I keep thinking about it. And it was made into a movie. I want to watch the movie. I want to read it again. Number 3, Heating Up. A book that was seriously steamy. Well, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know I have a really hard time finding books that I think are steamy, because my idea of steamy is not the same thing as most people's idea of steamy anymore. But my idea of steamy, and I don't know where my copy is, as you know, I moved somewhat recently and I still am not done unpacking. I do still have my copy, but the book that I found very steamy was The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. First off, this book had my favorite romance novel trope, which is the fake relationship trope. I think that is pretty hot anyway. I don't know why, I just do. Also, I found it more relatable because the girl in the book is a thick girl, which I like that. I don't like the just, oh, so beautiful, people can't even look at her skinny, beautiful, perfect woman. I've read enough about that in my life, right? She's not a damsel in distress. She can take care of herself. She's got her own career. She is independent. I like that. She chooses this guy. She doesn't need him. But the book itself, the way that it is written, is very steamy and sexy. Number 4, Rained Out. A book that you were anticipating, but were let down immensely by. I hate to tell you guys this. Where the Crawdads sing. I didn't like it at all. I know. We can't be friends anymore, right? But I don't feel like we have to agree on everything. And yeah, I DNF'd this at page 210. I tried. I mean, 210 pages, that is a good, solid chance that I gave that book. I really tried, but I just found it very boring and repetitive and predictable and slow. I didn't like the writing. I know, I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. I wasn't entertained. And for me, that's the point in reading. And so I just decided not to keep going. Number 5, Vacay Mode. A book that featured a vacation. I loved this one so much. Gosh, I wish I didn't have so many books to read, because I'd want to read this one again. The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I love this book. I thought it was so good. Of course, I guess this is another, you could say, fake relationship trope, right? Number 6, Roadtrip. A book that's all about a road trip. This is a vintage book, and I got it at a used bookstore, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. In each of the first chapters of the first half of the book is a different character that's being developed. And you're getting the backstory on each character. And they're all preparing for this hurricane that's coming to Florida. And it's coming to the west coast of Florida, where I used to live before I moved to Las Vegas. And I just thought it was so fun. So everybody's, I mean, it was kind of scary too, but it was, you know, in a creepy Mother Nature is coming kind of way. But it was so beautiful, and everybody's trying to get out or trying to get to a safe place. And back then, all you could do, I mean, maybe there were, I think all the planes had been canceled, but everybody was in cars trying to get out. And it felt like a road trip because everybody was trying to get out, and then all the characters meet up at a certain location where the road is closed, and it goes from there. Amusement Park, a book that felt like a roller coaster. Well, for me, that would be Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. Every time I thought I knew what was going on, I found out that I didn't. It was just kind of all over the place. I kind of feel that way about the other book of hers that I read too, which was His and Hers. But this one I didn't feel as disgusted by, if that makes sense. If you've read both of them, you probably know what I mean. But they're both like that, just roller coaster books. I would think of her as my current roller coaster author. Ice Cream, a book that was deliciously sweet. That would be The Diva Spices It Up by Krista Davis. This cozy mystery book is in a series called the Domestic Diva series. And this is my favorite one. There's quite a few books in this series. I want to say 14, 15. There's quite a few. This is my favorite one. In this book, the protagonist, Sophie, is hired to write a cookbook for this actress, right? A former actress, excuse me, an aspiring lifestyle guru. But then she finds out she's not the first person that's been hired for this job, but the previous person that was hired for this job was murdered. And this book is so good. The whole series is good. There's a cast of characters that is amazing. Sophie has family members and friends and just a whole neighborhood of neighbors that are, well, they're not all nice to her and they're not all wonderful, but they're all characters that I have grown attached to over the years. These books are so delicious and sweet because they have references to food and recipes and decor and ambiance and all the way down to what pattern is on the plates that they're eating off of. They're just so delicious in every way. And I did do an entire video about this series if you're interested in learning more about it. Number 9, Sunrises and Sunsets, a book that has sunrise or sunset on the cover or similar colors. Okay, I've got 2 books here for you, and these are both books that are from my TBR bookshelf that you see here behind me. I've got Woman of Light, and then I've got Burn Town. I just thought these were both so beautiful. And I can't wait to read either one of them, which means I'll probably get around to them in the next 6 years. And then the last question on here is number 10, Long Days, the longest book you've read this year. For me, the longest book I've read this year is The Shining at 659 pages long. And that's it for the Summer Loving Book Tag. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're having the best summer ever. Happy reading. Bye.